Afternoon, everyone. It's March 26th, and I've been out here cleaning up our property. I raked all of that, and then I mowed all of that. And we've got some leaves over here. I was able to rake a lot of this up, get us a big compost pile there of leaves. We've got the one back here in the very back that I've been turning. This is a new one. And what I have here is some grass clippings from mowing and some leaves that I've been mowing over to chop up with my mulcher mower. I just take this pile right here and my rake and rake out a little pile, a little thin pile. You don't want to leave them thick, because leaving them thick, it doesn't really cut as nice. So I'll put about a 2-inch layer right out through here and run my mower over it until the bag gets full. And then I'll dump it right there. There's still some that big in there, but it ain't like that or like that back there. And yesterday I mowed and started the pile, and I would do like 4 or 5 inches of grass clippings and then 4 or 5 inches of the leaves. And we're piling it up here to make this compost pile break down faster. Now, I've got some piles of soil over there too. I'll throw a handful in there every now and then to keep, or to get it activated faster. This morning I come out here and that pile was already getting warm inside. Now, they say these compost piles can get up to 150 degrees, and that should kill all of your grass seed and your weed seeds. I've done this back home in Indiana, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes it does really well, and then sometimes you still get weed seed and grass seed in it. But I just pull all that little bit of stuff up as it's coming up when it's young, and it's easy to weed. But I'll show you how we do it. We add our water too to it to try to get it working faster. And this is the one we just turned. And it's breaking down real nice. Now, this is just leaves and pine needles. And this is just leaves and pine needles. But now we're going to add some grass clippings and a little bit of soil, and hopefully we can get this stuff. I'm going to turn this pile over here probably about every 2 weeks and try to break it down even faster. So let me see if I can get you put in this little tripod here without cutting the video off. Okay, we're back. So let's see if we can show you what we're doing here. Now, we stopped with the pile of leaves on top of the pile of grass clippings, so we're going to go back with some grass clippings and then another little layer of these chopped up leaves. And I try to take all the sticks and pine cones out of it I can, but a lot of them's chopped up as I run the mower over it. But I don't want no real big giant pieces in there. So we'll get this grass clippings with leaves. And then some of these chipped up leaves and pine needles from the mower bagger. We're going to layer it like a lasagna. Several inches of grass clippings, several inches of the composted leaves or leaves that I've run over and taken out of my mulcher bag, and then we'll add some water to that. A little bit of soil. Now some leaves. Don't want to put too much soil in there, just a little bit to help with the microbiology, breaking it all down. I've heard it helps, and then I've heard it don't help when you're making a hot compost pile. So we're going to try it and see if we can get this pile, both of these mounds on that one pile, and then in 2 weeks I'll turn it. But we're going to add some water now. That's about a 2-gallon watering can, but it wasn't quite full, so probably about 1.5 gallons of water. And now we're going to go back and start with the grass again, because you can see there was leaves on top. Now we are over here in the edge of the woods. But most of this ground, as you can see, is just basically rocks. It's been filled in. There's been some backfill put in here, and you can see it's mostly just rock. A little bit of dirt, but not much. And I've went ahead and raked all the leaves out. So when this compost pile gets hot, I really don't have any fear of it getting hot enough to catch the woods on fire. We just had some storms come through yesterday, day before yesterday rather. Actually, it was all night and into the morning. So yesterday, and it rained all day before yesterday and all night and into the morning. So everything's good and wet down here. Except for I've raked these leaves up and they've dried out in the air. When I was mowing down here behind the house, it was still a little marshy. But behind that pile, I've raked out, it's probably 6 foot to that tree of nothing but dirt or rock and dirt. There's no way, if it did catch on fire, which I don't think it's going to get that hot, but we'll see. I'll keep monitoring it every day. And I'll come out here, I'll stretch a water hose out if I have to and wet down the ground. I don't want anything happening down here, but that's how we're going to do it. We're going to just keep layering this thing, 2 or 3 inches of grass and 2 or 3 inches of the brown. And then we'll put some more water on it. I just put that 1.5 gallons, so I'm going to do one more layer of grass and leaves, and then we'll water it again. And you can see a lot of this grass is still wet. All right. We'll water it up again. Let me get another watering can. Now, I've seen many videos on YouTube on how to make this fast compost. There's a lot of good videos out there. It shows from start to finish. These guys were making ready spreadable compost in around 20 days. But they were turning it every 2 days. They were adding more water to it. They were covering it. I'm not gonna do all that. But what I am gonna do, because I've already got everything we've got planted in pots. I'm just trying to make this stuff for next year and get a good stockpile of it, because I just found out through some video channels, one especially down here in our area, some subscribers, several different subscribers to the channel turned me on to Deep South Homestead. He's a little further. He's about an hour south of us, headed towards Gulfport. But he was having an issue with manures. All the straw fields down here, hay fields, they spray with Grazon. And then the cows eat that straw, and then they use the cow manure as compost, and then it's a broadleaf fertilizer, or a broadleaf herbicide, not fertilizer, my bad. It's a broadleaf herbicide called Grazon that they spray on these fields, and all it does is kill your garden. So we're going to try to stay away from the manures down here, especially when he says he's got only one place out of all southern Mississippi that he can find a source of straw that's grown organically with no Grazon. And most, I would suspect, of all the manures, whether it be cow or horse or steer or goat, they're probably eating all that straw too. So we're going to try to make our own compost pile. It was easy back at home in Indiana. All I had to do was ride over to the city and get me a truckload of leaf compost and composted limbs that had run through a chipper 2 or 3 times, composted mulch. But we don't have the accessibility of that down here. But we do have a big old forest, a lot of leaves, a lot of grass. And I'm not expecting this compost to be weed free. You'd be a lot more weed free if you're going to try this by leaving the grass clippings out of it, unless you've got a beautiful manicured lawn. And if you're spraying your lawn, you certainly don't want to use that your grass in there. We're not spraying no lawn down here. The previous homeowner did, and it's got a lot of weeds in it, but it is what it is. We're in the country, you know, that's what you get. So we're going to pile this up, keep going until we get both of these piles into that one pile. And that's how we're trying to make our fast compost, using our leaves that we raked up and ran over our mower with our mulcher mower and bagged them up, and bagged up our grass clippings. So that's how we're doing it. We'll see how it goes, and we'll keep you posted with updated videos. Thanks for watching.